This, I think, is one of the biggest changes in the financial world in as little as 5 years. It no longer matters what you earn, it matters what you own. People are talking about this by using an analogy called the K-shaped economy. The K-shaped economy includes two paths, one that goes up and one that goes down. The one that goes up is the path being followed by those who own assets. And the path that goes down is the path that's being followed by those who measure their financial well-being by what they earn. It's said that 20% of people live on the upper path and 80% of people live on the lower path, and the disparity between those two paths is only getting greater. We're all part of the same economic events: pandemics, inflation, reckless government spending, money printing, and yet the impact on all of us is different according to which path we're on. The recent economic events that we've seen in the last 5 years have accelerated the growth of those on the upper path enormously, and it's put financial well-being almost out of reach for those that are on the lower path. And it's my personal view that unless people make a transition, the next 5 to 10 years does not look good. In this video, I'm going to share 4 simple things that I strongly believe that at least 80% of us need to do today to make the transition from the lower path to the upper path and to start measuring our financial well-being by what we own, not just what we earn. And if you're wondering why that's the case, if you're measuring your financial well-being by what you earn, you are part of a system that is structurally designed to not allow you to win. You can't earn enough to beat inflation. The only thing that will allow that to happen for you is the ownership of assets. Now, before we get into these 4 key points, my name's Wayne. I run a business called Learn Well Books. We're an international best-selling book publishing house. And we decided right at the start of our business that we were going to focus on 5 very important things in life. That's money, mindset, productivity, health, and relationships. We know that people who invest in all these 5 areas are going to have a great life. So it's our mission to share valuable information with you across all of these 5 areas. And today we're doing it in the area of money. So how do we go from the lower path, where we're denominating all of our financial well-being by what we earn and hoping for a pay rise and hoping that we can somehow get ourselves to a position where we've got our heads above water, despite the fact that the tide is rising? It feels like every day. How do we make the transition? Well, firstly, and this is essential, we've got to make an assessment of where we currently are. And what that means is determining our net wealth. And it's not possible to go through that process properly without making an assessment of the number of appreciating versus depreciating assets that we own. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you how you can get access to a very simple spreadsheet that I've created for specifically this purpose. And it'll give you a very simple template to fill out to determine your current net wealth. It'll show you what are appreciating assets and what are depreciating assets. And you might find it interesting to note that one of the depreciating assets is cash, because holding cash is a bit like holding an ice cube and watching it just melt through your fingers. The second step in these 4 steps is to redirect as much of your cash flow as possible to appreciating assets. Step number 3 is to decrease household expenditures wherever possible on things that do not build equity. And the final step is to make the mental shift between a focus on what you earn and a renewed focus on what you own. This net wealth tracker that I can share with you will help you to do this on a regular basis. I suggest you do this quarterly to continually track the progress of your net wealth over time. Because I'm sure you've heard the phrase, whatever gets monitored gets managed. The only way to grow your net wealth and to secure your future against things like inflation is to make sure that you understand your current position at all times. Now, I don't think that any of these 4 steps are groundbreaking. There is still a massive disparity between the people that are on the growth path and the people that are on the path to decline. It's 20% versus 80%. So even though a significant portion of the 80% probably know that these things are important, they're not doing them. I've got a strong opinion that continues to get stronger, and that is that unless we make this transition, the future for those that don't own assets could become pretty bleak. And so given our mission to educate people across these 5 really important areas of life, Money is certainly one of them. And I think that this transition between a focus on what you earn to a focus on what you own is an essential one to make. If you'd like to get access to this net wealth tracker, it's a simple spreadsheet that I can email to you. Drop a comment below and I'll make sure that you get that straight away. This has been Low Ted. Thank you for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow.